Hi everyone. Welcome, welcome. Going to shuffle some cards whilst I wait for everyone to come on. Hello, welcome. Hello everyone, welcome. Just going to get centered and grounded before we start. So if you'd like to just take a nice comfortable seat. Thank you. And ground through your breath, so following your breath all the way down to your root with inhale and release all the way down to the roots, following your breath, grounding in through the roots of Mother Earth as you exhale. So we're just doing some breathing exercises together whilst we wait for Chelsea, just to prepare us and to ground us and to connect us together. Chelsea and I are going to talk a little bit about the processes, our personal processes, but related to what's happening collectively, energetically right now. So we want to open our chakras up to be able to receive the information unconditionally. So we're just going to do that by following our breaths. So taking your breath from your higher chakra, following it down, your third eye, throat, heart, solar, sacral, root. Exhale all the way down into the roots of Mother Earth, opening your chakras one by one. As you follow your breath down, you visualize your chakras opening up, beautifully aligning you to your center. Let's do it one more time together. Feeling grounded in your body, present. How does it feel? So I'm going to welcome Chelsea on. Hello.
Hi, beautiful sister.
Hello, sister. You look divine.
Thank you. You too. I was just experiencing just the breath work you're guiding for us all. And it was able to just help me ground in and drop in more. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for receiving and for everyone who's here. Yeah, I mean, it's always important and powerful to connect before doing a live. I was sharing before you came on that just for us all to ground together before receiving the information that we're going to share, because we're going to share about our personal journeys, but how they're very much linked to what's happening right now collectively. And so opening our channels to be able to receive the information unconditionally, and that's what the breaths were for, to open us all up and ground together.
So good. This is so congruent with also the state of being I'm in right now. I'm moving through a lot of different just emotional processes, but in this exact moment I'm feeling like this deep soft tenderness. I've been moving a lot through anger this morning and in my experience, and right before we got on live I just did a whole process of moving anger because I got triggered and some awareness, and then through moving the anger I just am feeling this deep tender softness. So it feels good to merge and melt here with everyone.
Yes, wow, thank you. Did you move that through moving, dancing? Is that how you shifted it through, or did you what practice did you do to support you in moving your anger?
Thanks for asking. Well, one, I was a situation happened in my experience this morning that triggered that anger. Well, triggered awareness, and the awareness that I came to then triggered anger because I felt like my boundaries were crossed and I wasn't being honored. So my anger was my messenger to tell me that I am not being honored right now. And so with that, I was able to just realize, wow, I am being disrespected right now. I am not being honored. And then it gave me just that awareness to go move it. And so for me, what I did this morning was I went through my embodiment practice that I love doing, where it's connecting with source, connecting into the earth, doing a clearing of all energies that are not mine, calling back all of my energies. And so when I'm doing a clearing of the energies that are not mine, I just it's just my body's intelligence just knows how to move the emotions. It's like through this practice, it's awakening my emotional body even more, where I'm just like I just surrender. I'm like, ah, like moving and sounding, and like my sister was doing it with me, because I was like, my sister is just Alyssa, she's such a support with me this morning. She's like, do you need to, let's do the practice together, let's move some energy together, because like, girl, you're about to get on a live video and I know it's going to serve. So that's what I did, was I literally went and did my embodiment practice, but physically how I move the emotions, of course, through sound and movement. It's like literally kicking my legs, allowing my voice to open up and to scream and to honor my anger as a freaking sacred messenger. As a sacred messenger to let me know when I am being disrespected and dishonored, so I can take care of myself. Because now, since I moved that anger, I know what I need to do. Like, I need to go speak up, use my voice, and like share what the fuck is happening, and like, take care of myself.
Yes. And also, wow, thank you so much for sharing that with us. And I want to like add that then, as now, since you've shifted your anger, you can then go and use your throat and express yourself from a place of truth, from a place of alignment, rather than from a place of pissed offness and anger. And it's so linked to what's happening right now. But do you have anything else that you want to share on that? Anything that you anything else?
Yeah, I do, because I'm learning so much in this process this morning. Like, it's so funny. At first, I'm like, wow, all of this stuff is coming up before my live video. Like, dang. And then just this deep surrendering, like, wow, this is all meant to serve. this live video also. And what I
Mm.
realized is, as I was moving through my anger, my old pattern is to project it into blame or to react straight from that anger. Like, I was angry and another person was involved in this. And so instead of saying like, fuck you, motherfucker, like instead
Mm.
of like, you guys, I just have so much fire in me this morning. So
Do it. It's welcomed. I love it.
yeah, I'm like filled with fire, and it's more just like this fire of knowing what I need. Um,
Mm.
but instead of like projecting all of my anger and like just being like fuck you, it's like, wow, I am feeling angry right now, and I'm claiming my anger instead of projecting it, because my anger is my life force. So I'm keeping my anger
Mm.
contained in my own fields and just feeling the raw fire of my anger, which is my will. Like, it's my emotional body. So instead of denying that or projecting it outside of my fields, I'm like, I am here to claim all of my anger as mine. And so that was really powerful, because it's literally it's activating my own will, my own fire, my life force inside, so I can take direct action of what's loving for me. And so what I wanted to add is like, yeah, you know, when I go and address this situation after this live, hi Kayla, love you too, sister. So glad you're here. um, when I go address this, like I, this has changed my life. This has changed my life. I used to be so afraid of letting people see that I'm angry when I was in
Mm.
confrontation. And so I would just suppress it and be like, address the situation. I'm gonna freaking address the situation with this other person with my full fire. But I'm not
Yes.
gonna be spitting my daggers, my
Yeah.
fireballs at this person.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be contained within my anger and still show that I can be fucking angry. And then I'm
Yeah.
angry and it's not okay. What's
Yeah.
happening? It's not okay. But I'm not projecting or making wrong or spitting fire at this other person. I'm claiming my anger as mine. And this is I feel one of our greatest powers as the feminine is
Mm.
owning and claiming the emotions that we're experiencing, our emotional truth in the moment, without projecting it out here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to add, because it has been life-changing for me, and I feel really confident in myself to then move forward in this situation and be like, I'm fucking angry. And I'm claiming my anger here.
Yes.
So
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. I just like adore you in your process. I'm just,
thank you.
yes, yes, yes. Oh, it's just, so many things to say, but also the synchronicities of that, but the power that you have harnessed. And you said that you have had, and many of us have this fear of being seen as, oh, too, especially, I mean, men too, but as a woman, oh, too much, too bitchy, too all of this. And there's so much of that comes up within us when we feel angry and fire and injustice and triggered, as you say. And so for you to be able to address that, first of all, through your embodiment, and that is what this is about. What you, I feel that the message that you are sharing for everyone who's here is about us addressing and taking responsibility with what emotions are coming up within our body. What you and I, Chelsea, share is so much of that embodiment. Our practices are quite similar ones. So really feeling when you felt, when your body was telling you, no, this is not okay. A boundary has been crossed. And not feeling like, oh, I'm not sure. Shit, should I put the other person before me? Like I have the tendency to do that, you know, when my body comes up, especially with boundaries. It's like, oh, come on, Lucia, don't be so this, don't be so that. That's my voice that comes up. But actually what you did, Chelsea, is you were like, no, this is, I feel this. My body is telling me this, and I'm gonna move through it. And then once you moved through it, you were able to see it as a fuel, because anger, any emotion, anger, we're talking about anger, is a fuel for us to move forth, to express ourselves, like any other energies, like sexuality, like joy, anything. It's all a fuel. And just because it's angry and it's deemed as something that is, like what you said, spitting daggers, I love that analogy, by the way. It doesn't have to be like suppressed and pushed down. You, once you move through it, which you have, you've harnessed, you've cleared all of that kind of tension with that other person, and then now you can harness it to be like logs for your fire, right? It's like, yeah, in your full expression, and I so honor that. Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you, thank you. Yeah, you put it so beautifully. Exactly. And so the biggest message out of this is listen, trust your body, your emotional intelligence. Trust your body's intelligence of how to move those emotions also. Like, our body just wants what's loving for us. Our emotions just want what's loving for us. So it's like discerning, wait, is this my emotion or is it not? Okay, it is my emotion. I'm not just empathically feeling it from someone.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you need to tell me?
Yes.
All right, now what do you need? Like,
Yeah.
it's like a little child.
Yeah.
Like, each emotion is like a little child or is its own being. I just feel so like what's being asked on the planet is to develop our ability to feel our feelings and trust them, and to really trust them.
Yes.
They're not more powerful than us. A lot of us feel so afraid of feeling things because we're afraid of being hijacked. Trust me, I know that fear, especially being such a sensitive emotional being. It's like, yeah, I used to just like sulk in my room for like hours, just feeling feelings and like being hijacked by emotions. Once we learn how to move them, that doesn't have to be our experience anymore. And so there's so much guidance in the world now. There's so much guidance of how to move our emotions, and your body knows. Like, you already are the inner healer, the guider, like inside. Just like trust in yourself. So yeah, out of this big old experience this morning, that's what I have to share, and I feel so grateful that it all came up. And I just want to give a shout out, Alyssa. I see you're on here. Thank you so much, sister, for supporting me like through this morning. Sisterhood, so special.
Yeah, absolutely. That support is so important, isn't it? Andrea says she's feeling it as well. It's
Andrea,
really,
hi, sister.
oh yeah, it's thank you for sharing your experience, Chelsea. I admire you so much in you confronting confronting it, and you know, it takes courage, bravery to not hide behind the difficulty or the intensity and the depths of our emotions, especially being hypersensitive beings that we are. It, like you said, it can be very overwhelming. And to share my experience with you, I've also this week, in fact, these past 2 weeks for me have been intense anger. Like, I feel like a fireball. My sister Isabella, who's on here, she knows where I completely, with her, I'm just like and let it all out. And it's you know, it is, there is this other side of me which is comes up and says, oh, and says, is this is this too much? Am I being too bitchy? Am I being too that? But through talking with friends, and like you said, sisterhood, community, for me, brothers and sisters, talking with them, they have been saying to me, you know what, because I've expressed, I use my voice a lot to express. It helps me so much. I'm going to go on to my process as well, but I express a lot how I feel. It's also a release of mine using my voice. And so I share how I feel, even if it feels uncomfortable and vulnerable. And bless my sisters and brothers, there's a few of them that have said, because I've brushed past it, I said, yeah, anyway, so da, 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 da. But yeah, anyway, so let's go on to the next thing. And they're like, you know what? You're allowed to have a moan. You're allowed to feel this way. You're allowed to have these moments. And it's what we were talking about last week, Chelsea. I give you permission. You have permission to be this way.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I
it's
want
so
nothing
much.
less. Like
Exactly. But there's so much of that fear that I feel that comes up within me of, you know, being acknowledged and being seen. And if I'm seen in that way, then, you know, are people going to see me as an ice queen? And am I afraid I'm going to lose connections, lose my friendships? But of course not. It's every facet is loved by those who really see and honor you. So just for me, yeah, what's been coming up is I've been feeling a lot of my own process has been a deep reflection of what's going on planetarily as well for us at the moment within the masculine and feminine energies that we're moving through and shifting through. So as embodied as a woman, I've come in as a woman, but I also have masculine energies, as we all do.
I love my inner man.
I know. I love how you said that. I love my inner man. That's amazing. Yeah, Chelsea. I love you. Oh my god. Oh gosh. Yes. Praising that as well. We should talk about that as well next time. Maybe we can talk about Iron Man next time. If we have time this time. But yeah, so I've really been in this dark feminine, which is an energy that is coming up for us collectively at the moment, of the feminine. The feminine is all that is embodiment, all that is matter. The masculine is all that is consciousness, that is the force behind the matter. So the feminine has been feeling for me this intense anger of everything being ripped away from her, of not being acknowledged, being ignored, being suppressed, being trapped. And I have been feeling in my feminine has been feeling all of these emotions of just piss off with the world and with what's happening at the moment. And then patriarchy comes in and tries to like lock us down and tries to force us to do things. So in that process, I've been having like a masculine coping mechanism of exiting my body, because the masculine is about ascending and the feminine is about descending. So because my feminine has been feeling so uncomfortable, my masculine coping has been like, okay, let's go out. This is I don't want to be here. And all the depressive emotions have been coming through. Like I've been feeling so depressive in that. And because I've had this kind of battle between the masculine and feminine, of the masculine, I don't want to be here, and the feminine really feeling it, but also feeling like she doesn't want to be here. It's like that there's this constant argument. And how I have been shifting it is through movement, as you do. But also what's really helped me has been to use my voice and do some vocal toning and using allowing myself to be expressed in my feminine and to be received by others in this darkness. And it's actually been received really well and has been very healing to have that. So yeah, I guess it's about us really feeling into, like what you said, what comes up within our bodies, and honoring it in whatever way, and giving it space, because we need to give it space, because if we don't give it space, then it becomes completely suppressed, and we move forward, and that energy that we left behind can come out unconsciously at a later time. So yeah, that's what's going on for me and for the world. So potentially some of you who are on here might be feeling the anger that Chelsea and I have expressed, and let us know if you are, like, you know, type in the chat box, give us a little hearts, or I'd love to hear. But yeah, it's
Sister, I have a question. Like, as you're speaking about this, what kept going through my head is, so it's so easy when we're experiencing these different parts of ourselves that feel these intense emotions, like our masculine or our feminine or our child. How do you stay in your center enough to not get completely hijacked, like, by this perception?
Yeah, you mean, so by not getting hijacked by either the complete feminine or either the complete masculine? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, well, specifically as you're experiencing all of this anger, you're moving through all of this anger and just feeling so pissed off. Sometimes it can get, we experience the emotion so much where we become fully the anger, and we become fully this part of ourselves. We become polarized just in this aspect of self, instead of in our center, observing and allowing this feminine part to feel her feelings. How do you stay in your center also as the observer, and for her to be felt and honored? What's your practice in that?
Oh wow, that's a really good question. How do I allow myself to do that? In those moments, I feel what I do is I connect. I want to say I connect to, I suppose, how to express this, that which is void, or that which is my soul, or that is my higher self. So I will call in support from things like nature, that is supportive of both, of the void, let's say. I call support on sound, on listening to music, to allow me to stay in the void. I'm calling it void, but you know, it's like an in-between. It's a, what did you call it beforehand?
I just said, like, the center?
The center,
like,
yeah.
I guess present time. Like, how to stay in present time.
Present time, that's a really, really good way of putting it. Yeah, so present time, how I support myself through that is definitely through listening to sounds, because the frequency of sound is very, very supportive to our tissues, to our DNA, to everything that is our body. So it helps us to really be present with what we're hearing and what is coming up for us. So I listen to sound, or I spend time connecting with nature if I can go to nature. That helps me to be in the present moment, and those two aspects really help me to remember who I am, and remember why I'm here, and outside of all the chaos that is going on both sides. So those are my two go-tos, and also in that sense, movement is one that helps me a lot to become closer to that center. So by moving, I connect to source, And
Mm.
so that is also another space. So there are different tools that I use to be in that. Do you have some?
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I feel very connected to what you're sharing and use a lot of that as well. Specifically, like when I have big, big, big emotions, I prefer being with someone else. I
Mm,
prefer having someone to support me in my process. So it's like, wow, I have eyes to look at to know
yeah.
like I'm here, I'm not hijacked in that experience because it's just like trauma,
Mm,
like bring up trauma
mm,
memories and
mm,
it can just take us straight there and like
mm,
just totally out of present time.
mm,
And so my practice has been building the muscle of being able to be so in present time and then also like giving the fullness of the expression of an emotion or a memory or whatever. And so what I do is it's either I prefer someone, and if I'm alone, I do a similar thing where I really connect into, I use the language my God essence,
mm,
but what that really means for me is all of my soul parts, all parts of myself that have chosen love, like all of their intelligence, all of
mm,
Earth's wisdom, all of Source wisdoms, my guides, my helpers, like this in my body's intelligence, just this infinite intelligence inside of my heart that
mm,
knows that I am love. Like that is just so, so, so supportive. So it's like if
mm,
I'm alone, I connect into that resource inside of myself and really just bask in that. Like, wow, okay, I am God.
mm,
I am love itself. That's just that
mm,
knowing, like, okay.
mm,
And
mm,
then it's like this blanket that can just like hold me so with so much ease and grace as I move through my anger so I have a place to return back to. Because sometimes
mhm.
it's like, wow, we've experienced all of this and we don't have a center to really return back to, like a
Yeah,
knowingness to return back to. And so
yeah.
that's what I do when I'm alone. And when I'm with
Mm,
community, like with sisters or with brothers, it's just like they can be that for me, like
mm,
I can, it's like some weight off of me. It's like, wow,
mm.
my sister is here to remind me that I am like loved and and to create that imprint as I move through these big emotions and to look me in my eyes and remind me who the heck I am.
Yes.
Um, so I always prefer that, but we can
Mm,
we can do it alone too,
yeah.
and that's been my practice. And it's really great building that muscle of just your center of a place to return back to.
Yes, I love that. That's such a powerful, thank you for sharing your practices. I really resonate with that as well. And thank you for sharing. I feel like that's so important what you just said to reiterate that for everyone, and just because I want to as well, um, to really strengthen that sense of center, to
Mm,
return back to after we have gone through this big shift, knowing that it's almost like a nice little home. If we visualize it, it's a beautiful little home space, our own sacred temple that we then
mm.
go back into and we're like, ah, oh, yes,
Yeah.
hello home, I'm back. And that's a really, really beautiful way of putting it that you just did. And I also do want to add that I feel that community, I mean, I'm the same as you, Chelsea, in the sense that it really supports me. As I said before, like I love to use my voice and share. It really supports me as well to have other people around that I can be vulnerable with and be open with, and that having another human being around to share this with really helps me um, to be present here and
Mm,
to integrate almost like a reflection, a reminder of
mhm.
um, as we're not separate, that other human being is reminding me who I am through just presence, and they listen. And I really have felt that a lot as well, through these past 2 weeks, and have felt after these conversations with community, felt so elated and euphoric, and felt okay about being here and being me and going through whatever I'm going through, and less alone through it. That's a really important factor, that connection.
Mm.
So thank you.
Beautiful sister. Yeah, we so resonate in that. I
Mm,
wanted to touch base on what you're sharing. In the comment, Alyssa put creating safety. And when you were talking about, it's like we have our own little temple inside of our hearts.
yeah.
That's exactly through the work that I've learned with sustainable love. That's exactly what we want of creating safety for themselves is we literally create our own little inner sanctuary inside of our hearts with our favorite nature spot. It's like our whole little world. It's like when my masculine part, I just was guiding my sister in this the other day. Her masculine was just so upset, and it's like, oh, like, you know, like she's giving him expression and letting him feel. I'm like,
Mm,
oh, just let him, like, create a hot springs for him inside of your heart to like really like be in, you know. And so she did that, and he just went so like soothe, and that feels like such imaginary like things, but it is so real. It works so
yeah.
much to have that space inside of your heart where your inner village can really just live and thrive and communicate and learn how to be in union with each other. And so when we have our inner sanctuary so solid and safe, it does create true safety inside of
Yes.
ourselves, that true
Yeah.
centeredness. I just wanted to add that in there because I feel it's one of the most important things that we can do for ourselves to feel safe enough to actually feel our emotions to the depth of what we desire, is having inner safety.
Yes, absolutely. That is so, so important. And I love what you just shared, and I would love for everyone to, if you feel called to take that practice on and create your own little inner sanctuary. Go and create some hot springs if you need to. Go and explore what that space looks like and feels like for you as a center point for you to then come back to after you've been going through some difficult emotions, and share with us. I would love to hear what yours looks like and feels like. Share your experience with us.
Beautiful. Yeah, I would love that. Please feel free to message either one of us.
Yeah.
This is a practice that I do with my community too. I'm like, what does your inner sanctuary look like? Oh, what does your inner sanctuary look like? And so we're sharing ideas, and then we expand our inner sanctuary. Like, basically what my inner sanctuary looks like is, you know, the movie Avatar with the blue
Yes.
people? Like the tree, like the big, huge village, their tree, that's what
Yeah.
my inner sanctuary looks like.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
that's exactly what it is. It's a huge tree, and I have all of my parts in a circle around this big fire holding hands. And when a new part comes in or someone really needs attention, they're all holding hands, swaying back and forth, singing songs. And it's just like so fun. It
Wow.
engages the imagination.
Yes.
It engages the creativity. It just is so, 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 so powerful.
Wow.
There's a comment. What are some tools for creating that
Yes.
inner sanctuary?
Yes.
Use your imagination. Get wild. Go inside of your own heart like you're a little child and just visualize and start to create. And some ways that I love to do is like drawing or making a collage out of like what your inner sanctuary would be like, and spend time in there. Meditate and spend time in your inner sanctuary, you know, creating and checking in with your different parts. Like, there's a whole world. When people say that we have a whole world inside of ourselves, a whole galaxy, we literally do. Like, we literally do. I believe that our multi-dimensional portal. Like all of our chakras are, but there's something about the heart that is just, it's so multidimensional. It just, the connection to all of life, all dimensions, all space and time. And so that's our access point. And when we create that inside, like we just have the potential to experience so much. So thank you, Chelsea. Your voice is
Wow.
so soothing.
Yeah,
Thanks.
that's so beautiful. It's true. Yeah, that's, I love what you've just shared, Chelsea. And I hope, like, I was, as you were sharing what your inner sanctuary is like, I was just visualizing it so much, and all the parts of you and your soul supporting each other. And you know, it's like meeting a family.
Exactly.
If any of you who feel called to do it, it's like, I mean, you might be thinking like, what's the different parts of my soul? How do I do that? What is that? That's like, it's meeting a new member of your own family, which is you. So they look like you, they are you, and see who, when it's just like when you get to know someone new, it's like, oh, who are you? What are your needs? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? How can we interact with each other? And then, you know, you've met that side of yourself, and that side of yourself lives within your inner sanctuary, and you know that when you go there, that side of you is there. And as we were saying last time, there's so many multifaceted sides of you, and for you to know that they're all together in one place making up your inner sanctuary is beautiful. And see what they, you know, what form they take, and what they look like and what they feel like, and get to know them and spend time together in the inner sanctuary. I really love this so much.
Yeah, it's so, I'm grateful that this came up in conversation, because I am just, it's just reminding me even more and more of how much more time I want to spend in there. I don't
Yeah.
spend as much time as I desire to. I spend a lot of time in there, but I want to spend like every day, like just building and creating and inside of myself. And yeah, I am also here as a support to help people do that if they don't feel like, if they just are needing more guidance. And I'm sure, sister, you are too. So I just want to
Yes.
make that known.
Of
Just
course.
checking the time. And I think this is
Yes.
a good opportunity to open up this space for any questions. Yeah, to
Yes.
just answer any questions that anyone may have. We're going to do a few minutes of just questions and answers, and then close off the live today with a soul song. You inspired this so much, sister, in our last
Oh,
live. It's like just using the voice, and I know that your voice is so beautiful.
thank
God,
you.
like every time you post something when you're singing, I'm like sound bath, like just bathe me right. And so I wanted to
Thank you.
incorporate that into our live today. And for me, I use the voice so much and love doing just spirit language and just channeling sound that wants to come through. So that's how we'll close off the live, and
Yes.
just opening it up.
Beautiful. Yes. So send us your questions if you have any questions about either what we have talked about, or if you have any questions about any energies that you have been feeling recently and you're not sure about, or, you know, the current situation at the moment, what if it's brought up something in particular for you and you want to voice that, or if you, even if you do have an inner sanctuary, you've already worked with that, what's your experience with that? What's your experience with meeting the different sides of you? Yeah, if anything, let us know as well. Like, I'm so curious to know if anything that we talked about has sparked anything within you, and has it
Yeah.
made you think like, ooh, this is like what you said, Chelsea, you know, like last time you said, oh, this inspired me to do the song. Has there been anything that we've talked about that has inspired something completely maybe unrelated, but do you know what I mean? And share that with us. There is a little question in the question box from Isabella.
Ooh.
So, what other tools do you both use? I too have been feeling angry, annoyed, and crazy. I
You're
love
not
that.
alone, girl.
Yeah, we're in it together.
Yeah.
Do you have any other tools like the inner sanctuary? I'm going to think about my visualization ones like this that I go into. I do actually.
Did you say you do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. As you're talking, I'm gonna like feel.
Okay. There's also another question up there as well. Let me just close this because we have it. My way of going into it's probably like going into my, I've never called it an inner sanctuary, but it's going into, I suppose, a dimension in which I feel safe in, and I feel completely able to be myself without any constraints, without any of my limiting beliefs, without any of my judgments and these things. And that's when I connect to I mean, this is can be a bit, maybe some people have not had this experience, but I connect to my spirit guides. I connect to anything that is supporting me right now. So it can even be like spirit animals or animals that have inspired me. Like I've recently been working with horse medicine. So I would go into like a visualization where I'm on a horse and connecting to this horse, and what is it that the horse is bringing me and showing me in that moment. Is it freedom? Is it stamina? Is it growth? So for me, I use visualization in such an expansive way to whatever I feel I need in that moment. But I really go into, yeah, working with these spirit guides. As I said, it might be animals, it might be angels, it might be loved ones that have passed. And I connect into that space with them. So if I'm sitting in my living room, it will be like I visualize them coming in and us sitting together, and what is it that they what is it that they give me in that moment? How do I feel? It normally feels extremely soothing and safe. Safety is a big thing for me when I go into these spaces. So that is more, yeah, a bit more abstract, but that's how I use, that's one of my tools that I use to, yeah, to support me.
That's so beautiful. As you're saying that, I'm just like melting, like, oh, feeling it.
Oh, I love you so much.
Okay, I want to be there. Like, I want to take me there.
Let's go. I'll meet you there this evening.
Beautiful.
What
I
about
was
you?
reflecting, and it's like, okay, so like I shared at the beginning, I use the embodiment practice that I shared earlier, and what that really helps me do is to just like really know the truth of what I'm feeling and understand myself on a multidimensional level. Like, because we think that we're just but I has so many dimensions and form, and so I like to understand the wholeness of me likes to understand who is feeling what. So who inside of me is feeling what? And I don't do this every time. Sometimes I'm just like, oh wow, anger is up right now, if it's mine or not, and asking. I literally ask my emotion, anger, sad, joy, whatever. Is this mine? Your body will, it's like an instant reaction, yes or no. Okay, yes. If it's mine, okay, speaking to it. Then I can say, who are you connected to? Who inside of me are you connected to? Tuning into my own intelligence. Wow, my little girl. Okay, little girl, and you can choose to even go into story if you want to. Why are you feeling angry?
Mm.
Okay, you're feeling angry because of this. All
Mm.
right, what do you need? Like, what
Mm.
are you needing? And like literally giving that to myself. So I try to keep it really simple. Of course, it's not black and white, and there's many dimensions and layers to it,
Mhm.
but in the most simple way, it's like when I'm feeling something, I just ask it. Like, I don't try to be like a freaking this, like, I was gonna say a brain surgeon. I don't even know why that came. That's why I looked away. I'm like, a brain surgeon. Oh, interesting. I guess it's the complexity of a brain surgeon, but like
Yeah.
I'm not. It's like sometimes I can't go there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like no. I'm just gonna ask my emotion, what do you need, just like a little child, and then
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
move, how do you want to be moved, and what do you need, like boom.
Mhm.
And like it can be
Mhm.
that simple. But
Mm.
if you're wanting to go to the origins of it, then you can get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. But there's many layers to it. And just like this morning, like i I felt the reaction, or I felt that, yeah, the response in my body that I wasn't being honored. Like I came to awareness of where it was coming from, because I wanted to know, why am I feeling angry right now? I came to the awareness of why I was angry. I moved the anger, and through moving the anger in my body, then it led me to coming back to my center and taking aligned action of what's loving for me. So I just, yeah, I try to keep it simple, and like continuously, like, okay, so it's this part. Like this morning I got really clear. It's, and I'm just going to be like really transparent in
Mm.
that exact process. Is like my Native American and African part felt so fucking livid this morning inside of myself,
Mm.
like they're being used. And so
Mm.
it is clear, like the more parts of yourself you start to integrate, like it's like, oh wow. So like I like went into my heart after the embodiment practice, and I'm like, oh wow, so my Native American part and my African part were just so loud, like we're
Mm.
anger, just fucking
Mm.
fire. And so
Wow.
through doing that, I was able to like, be with them inside of my heart and honor their anger, and then like take action from there. But yeah, um it depends on what your desires and how deep you're wanting to go within
Yes.
your
Yeah.
practice and emotional body. Such healing and
Mm.
healing advice. Yay. Yay, yay, yay.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. We do have another little question that has come through. Oh, why can't I see the entire thing? Hello, I haven't felt much anger, but feeling super tired at the moment and struggling to get as much done as I would like daily. Is this due to the current energies? Feeling super tired at the moment, struggling to get much done. Yeah, I
Mm.
mean, that's an interesting there's also another one that I wanted to read. Yeah, that's super interesting. Thank you for sharing that with us and asking the question. So much of what's happening at the moment is because it's affecting us all. We're all going through this same process of moving through something that our planet has never moved through before. So we are moving as a mass through similar emotions, like example anger, or non lack of inspiration or tiredness, and there is a sense of collectiveness of what is coming up at the moment. So you can tune, like what Chelsea just explained, because it's going to be yours and it's also going to be what's happening at the moment, and you can in that same way tune into, oh, is this my own that's coming up, and if so, where do you reside? What is it that you're wanting to show me? What do you look like? If there is a physical appearance to your feeling, if there is a sound to your feeling, what is it? Meet that side of yourself. Or you can also go in and say, I mean, you can say, is this my own, or is it part of the collectives? Is it something that I'm picking up because I'm a
Mm.
sensitive being? We all are sensitive beings. And your body will tell you the answer. You will feel it in yourself. So when you know that it's something that is a process that the collective is going through, and the answer can be but yes to both, because very often it is. And when you know that that's the situation, you can use your own experience to heal yourself, to address it, like what Chelsea said, go into it, give it space and time to unfold as it needs to. If you're feeling like uninspired at the moment, give that time. And as you're healing it by doing that, by addressing it, you're not suppressing it.
Just so fatigued. And yes, there's so much energies happening, so many things happening. But what I was truly experiencing is me being out of my body. And it created such this deep tiredness, this fatigue. And so I just want to ask you that question to ask yourself. And if it's no, then do what you need to get back into your body. To really bring yourself back into your body and understand why you left your body in the first place. That could be a really powerful place to start within your own just practical process is understanding if your spirit is really here. Yeah, I know when I'm in states of big fatigue, it's because I'm not here. So I just wanted to add that in there.
That's so powerful. I really love that question.
It's the simple things that we forget. We totally forget.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's about being aware of it, isn't it? And sometimes we aren't even aware when we're not in our bodies. So, and it can come out like what you say with fatigue or any other types of coping mechanisms. There is another question that I would like to read from Samina. Much of what I do is intuitive. How much of what you both do is from your inner guides? What a cool question. Thank you for asking.
I like it.
I'm just checking if there's any. That's it. Yeah, that's the question. That's the most recent question. Do you, yeah, what she said about art. Do you want to go first or I don't mind?
Yeah, sure. So my entire journey has been intuitive. It's like me just listening to myself. Like me learning and listening to me here. Even when I didn't know what the fuck it meant. And I used plant medicines also to help, as big allies to just deepen my understanding of self in the beginning of my journey. I don't much these days. And I have just listened to my heart as my guide, literally just listen to, wow, my heart is really telling me I need to move to New Mexico and this is the right thing to do. Although I'm feeling so much fear, so much this, my heart's guidance. So it's been that way. And it's been that way by myself primarily until this past year, of where I've then attracted through my heart's guidance my community here now with sustainable love. And a lot of the practices that I share in this work has been from my own intuition, and then coming and meeting sustainable love community and joining forces here has given more structure, more systems to what I have been doing, or to the remembrance of my own soul's intelligence, like having the structure of an inner sanctuary to create safety, and having the structure of the embodiment practice that I do to connect with earth, with source earth, bringing back my parts. That has all been a system that has been co-created by many different people of what has worked for them and their healing journey, and we're all adding new things to this process. So it has been a big big intuitive process and now a mixture of system that has worked for me and a collaboration. So it's back and forth, and that system has created even more depth to listen to my own inner guidance and inner guides and intuition. So yeah, a mix of it all, really.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. I hope that that answers your beautiful question, Samina. And you know, mine is quite similar to yours, Chelsea, in that, well, most of my, in fact, majority of my what I share, what I know, my teachings and um, everything, whatever you want to call it, is all intuitive. I have, of course, been called to do different courses. These courses that I have done have always been things that I have been deeply intuitively guided to do. And they're not something that I do because I know that there's this in the spiritual community is like wanting to better yourself and doing lots and lots of courses, which is amazing. But then also we can lose our own inner wisdom.
Yeah.
And I recently had a sister over lockdown. She was always doing lots and lots of different courses. And she got a coach who said to her, you need to stop doing all of these things. And she stopped doing all these courses, and she just all of her inner wisdom all came through, and it's like a river of information, of flow, of her just connecting to herself. And so for me, it's always been about, if I do want to do a course or connect with a specific teacher, it's as you say, it's a support system to remember something that we already know innately and is potentially just buried under some leaves, and we're just clearing the way for that to blossom up through the leaves. And yeah, most of my process has always been intuitive, and I love that because that really helps me to know when something feels so true, and to really honor what comes through spirit through me, and to know, oh, this is not my imagination. I'm not like, this is source speaking through me, and I honor that, and I don't give it to anybody else, or don't say, oh yeah, this is something that I learned because of this course or so many years of doing this. No, you have the innate wisdom to be all that you are expressed right now, whether you've done lots and lots of different courses. That's beautiful, but all the wisdom that comes through is through this channel, through yourself. So that's why I really honor doing intuitive work, because it shows great for me, great authenticity. And that's why I feel so resonant within you, Chelsea, because I see that and feel that within you as such an ancient soul. And yeah, I find it really inspiring when to meet people like you, and you know, and so many of us that trust our intuitive process. So yeah.
Totally. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, you articulated that so beautifully. And I do want to honor ourselves as conduits of Great Spirit, of Source, conduit of our own soul's intelligence. I mean, we've lived so many lives, have so many experiences, all like, and I'm sure everyone that's on this live right now like has some knowing in themselves of their own deep soul's wisdom too. And yeah, just really honoring our ability to connect in and transmit yeah, what we're needing. And then honoring also the lineages of work that are outside of ourselves that help us remember. I mean, that's what you do for me, sister. I'm wanting to honor you and your vessel, because you've helped me remember parts of me and my wisdom. And, you know, sustainable love and other sisters and other people, I want to honor everyone's unique channel of whatever work they're doing, whatever intuitive wisdom they're listening to, that helps also reawaken that within me. So I want to add that in there because it feels really, really, really important to honor all lineages, all conduits, all channels.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thank you so much for adding that in. That's really, I feel, such an important message, especially when um especially when we tune in as those intuitive channels and we trust what comes through. We then give, as you say, the opportunity to others to remember through our process as well. So we're not just doing it for ourselves, but we're acting as a reflection, as a vortex, as a portal for others to know and to be like, oh yeah, that's me, that's not you. Like what I see within you is myself. And if you look at another sister or another brother and you think, wow, they are powerful, that's because it's awakening. They are in their truth and it's awakening your own power. So honoring all of us who do that, and just also you, Chelsea, who you've so done that for me, and you helped me to remember home and remember who I am and be a human being here, not feeling alone and connected to you, to our star nation and all that is.
Thank you, sister.
Thank
Same,
you.
same. I think this is a perfect moment to drop
Yeah.
into. It's 11:04. It's 6:05 there. Just drop
Yeah.
into our soul song
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
wrap it up in that beautiful way.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Would you like to lead us, beautiful alchemist voice, alchemist woman?
You want me to just sing? Go ahead and sing.
Just channel whatever is there for you, and once you feel complete, then I will jump on it.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna do like me and you. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna put something on for me, it helps in the
Okay.
background. Hmm.
Hi, brother Muhammad.
What do I want to say very quickly? This. Okay.
Here.
Hmm. I. to you.
So beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, God. Your spirit is immaculate.
Thank you.
Wow. I'm just opening up my heart and asking right now who inside of me wants to be expressed through song. So funny. I feel right now my Native American part. Has so much to say. She always has so much to say. Her favorite way of expressing through me is through song. So thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. I had so many goosebumps. That was absolutely divine on so many levels. The spirit that I could feel through your voice, through that moment, I saw you in your Native American soul. Dear sister, it was just so liberating on so many levels. Thank you. Aho.
Oh, thank you for seeing me. And I felt safe enough to express that loud and that much. So I thank you for holding such safe, sacred space to be seen in all dimensions of myself, sister. And all that are joining here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Feeling so connected. Wow. I feel like so doing this. I feel like doing this every day with you. Can we, please?
I was like, well, on that note, next Thursday, we haven't even talked about it yet, but would love to get back on here with you. And
yes.
Yeah, just continue sharing what we're experiencing.
Yeah.
And just opening this up to anyone that feels resonant with anything or want to go into deeper relation or conversation or to work with my sister or I privately. Like, we are here and available. Just please feel free to message us. We did a live last week and I was able to talk to a few women, and so powerful. That is my greatest joy about doing these lives, is to actually build relationship with the people that are here. Like, I'm not just doing here to just like just give all of this information, and like, I want to build relationships. So we here.
Yes,
we out.
absolutely. Yes, we're here. Please reach out, send us a message. We work privately, as Chelsea said, one-on-one. But also I'm doing mentorship programs as well. So yes, speak to us. We want to know how this felt for you. What did it ignite? What was your experience? And it's all about supporting each other, and you support us, we support each other. So please reach out. It means a lot. It's important. And we will be here on Thursday next week at the same time, maybe doing some more soul song. I feel like that's really powerful to channel out some of the energies that we are feeling and give that space opportunity as well for others to tap into what they feel through it and go into their own practice. So Susie, she said, this is my dear sister Susie, amazing. Aww. That you're doing it again. Woohoo, it was so beautiful. Thank you for sharing your light, love, and having this magical space for all of us. Thank you, Susie, for being here. Loving you so deeply. Honored. Yeah, really honored. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's a wrap. Closing up our little container.
Yes. Your mood is like super playful. I love it.
All right, until next time.
Until next time, loving you deeply, sister. Speak to you soon. Thank you for your time.